Okay, so I'm at the Congress. It's let's see, it's Sunday night. That would make it day 5 of the event, and something really interesting happened to me, and this is a victory. And I want to thank Robert Menard out there and Elizabeth Mary Croft and everybody that taught me everything that I know. You know, and all the everybody that's just involved in this free man movement. And I just got to tell you, it's for real, because I had an altercation with the corporate revenue officers. Apparently somebody claimed that I was trying to, I was walking around and telling everybody I wanted to sleep in their floor on Saturday night, and it was just on a whim. I wanted to come down here and cover the event, and I didn't have a room, and I don't see any problem with, if you're in a conversation with somebody and they say, where are you sleeping, and then I said, on your floor, and he was just like, oh, I got my roommate, whatever, and I was like, whatever, that's fine, you know what I'm saying? And it was a passing conversation, and this was on Saturday night, and so tonight, this is like full 24 hours later. I'm recording these people, and as you can see, the videos are great. I think the folks that were in them did awesome, just spectacular jobs. And this guy comes up to me and says, well, this and that, you need to leave. And he's a security guy for the hotel over at Pheasant Run. And he says, you need to leave. We've been getting complaints about you and this and that. And I said, oh, okay, well, what are the complaints? And I launch, I step into the free man mode now, and retaining all of my constitutional rights, and one of them being, the right of the press, and also the right to know my accuser. And and I asked him, I said, so who's accusing me of doing it? Are there somebody accusing me of doing anything? And he says to me, well, this and that, and he's not. And then finally I find out who my accuser is. It's this guy who's he's a heavier set guy. He had an End of Fed T-shirt on, and he knows who I'm talking about. And I'm gonna call you out right now, because I think you're an elite scumbag, and I think you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I'm pretty sure, and everybody kind of has to understand that there's obviously going to be wolves in sheep's clothing at an event like this. And I think what happened was I started talking, and I was in the bar there, and I was drinking a beer, talking with this person, that person, and I brought up the fact that what they have done with this Continental Congress is they've actually elected a de jure government, and this is actually a lawful government, and this government actually has more authority than the government that is in power right now and has the guns. So I was telling people this, and they were agreeing with me. People in the bar were like, "Oh yeah, it's a de facto government. It's run by corporations and stuff," and and then anyway, so basically, the conversation, I just said, well, I don't want to deal with the cops or anything. So the guy says, you got 5 minutes to leave, and then he's taking up my whole 5 minutes by talking, and I'm like, well, this and that, trying to ask my questions. So anyways, finally I'm like, so I'm free to go, right? I'm not being detained, and I start walking out, and I go out to my car, and there's a cop, and here's angry cop. I'll call him Angry Cop. I'm not going to name anybody right yet. I'm actually going to call and get the police report and find out what happened, as far as getting the names and stuff of the people that violated my rights. Because the first thing Angry Guy comes up to me and he says, do you have a license? I want to see your ID. And I'm like, I don't have a license. I said, why do I need a license if you need a license for something? Isn't it by law a lawful act? Isn't by definition a lawful act? And he says to me, look, I don't want to hear anything from you. All I want to hear is date of birth and last name. And now this is what you need to understand about this, is that they need, and most cops don't know this either, and to all the cops out there, this is why you're being required to get people's last name and their date of birth, because if you have those two things, your chattel has now consented to contract and be your slave, and then you can pretty much affect them in any way. And that's what I'm telling this guy. I'm like, look, you can't have my date of birth, you can't have my last name, because I don't consent to contract with you in any way. And even if I did give you my birth date and my last name, I have a claim of right that says that I don't have to, that I'm not in contract with anybody unless I have a written and notarized consent. So you know, we go on with this and that, and I'm you know, sitting by the car and also asserting the fact that, you know, if they want to arrest me, I'm going to go peacefully and non-violently, and all they have to do is say I'm ready to arrest you now, and I will step out of the car and I'll put my hands behind my back and I'll, you know, go away peacefully. But the fact is that I'm asserting my rights to not give them my date of birth and not give them a driver's license because I don't want them to affect me, and I don't want them to harm me, and I don't want them to take me into custody and then do whatever they want with me, because I don't trust these people, and I've revoked my consent to be governed by these people because they have no clear lawful authority over me. So anyway, it kept going on, and you know, I'm sitting in my car, and you know, and I think I said probably, am I free to go? Like, I don't know, I did the free to go thing with the angry guy, and then there was quiet guy. We had quiet guy here, angry guy here, and you know, angry guy was like, you know, am I free to go now? He says, well, what do you think? Like that. And I said, I think I'm free to go, so I guess I can go, right? He says, no, this and that, you're being detained. I said, so I'm being detained under protest and arrest without clear lawful authority? And he says, don't, you know, look, don't make this harder than it has to be. I said, for you or for me? And you know, and it's just the questions that I was asking, and it was just amazing, you know, the education that I've, you know, you never know what you're going to do until you're in that situation, and I have to say, man, it is such a freeing feeling to stand up to these guys and be like, look, man, I'm the law, and you don't seem to understand that. I'm your authority. You know, the people are the authority. I am law. I am law, and I'm telling these guys this stuff, you know, calmly. I'm not like, you know, being a jerk about it, you know, and I understand that you guys don't want to hear this, that, you know, that the people are actually the law and not the, you know, these fictitious corporations that they've created. Your name is a corporation, sir. If you're watching this and you're a cop, your name is a corporation, and you need to create a contract, and the contract is created by getting a date of birth and a last name, and that's what it's under this ancient system of pledging, and that's what the British Crown uses, and you are a subject of the British Crown, and you're running their business at the point of a gun. Now, I've got a cop that lives about 3 doors down from me. This guy isn't doing any better than anybody else, okay? He is basically, you know, he's got a mortgage, he pays bills, this and that. His house is about the same as mine, you know, as far as, like, you know, value and that sort of stuff. And he, you know, lives month to month just like everybody else. And this is what I want to say to the guys with the guns. Folks, look, liberty, we're not your enemy. The people are not your enemy, all right? This you know, this terrorism, you know, the war on terrorism is a fraud. It's an absolute fraud to make you people scared of us, you know, to make you guys afraid of us. They want you to be scared just as much as they want us to be scared. They want the cops to be scared. They want you to be afraid of us. And what I want everybody out there to know, any cop that ever wants to deal with me in any way, I am a non-violent man. I've revoked my consent to be governed with you. I'm not going to consent to give you authority over me. If you do want to, you know, bring violence against me, it would be it would be done under protest and arrest and under full commercial liability. So now we start with the full commercial liability process, and I need to bill these guys for for detaining me for well, you know, probably about a half an hour, which is a price of $250 by my claim of right. So now comes the process of the free man, which is the most important part, in my opinion. And that is that when I have told these people I am a free man on the land, and it is my commitment to make these people fear their people again. Government needs to fear their people again. And now I need to reply with shock and awe. I need to reply with shock and awe type law. And really, you know, stick it to these guys and say, look, I'm your authority, not the other way around. So I think that's actually what I'm going to be doing right now, is I'm going to head down to the police station and maybe ask a couple of questions. All right? Let's see what, maybe I'll be spending the night in jail. I don't know. But I'm probably not going to be recording it because these guys are like really mean, angry guys. I mean, these guys are really mean and angry. So, I don't see them. I don't see them wanting me to record. You know, they might just want to beat me up and then not play the law game. So anyway, and that's what it comes down to. You know, I mean, if you can continue to communicate with these people and you make these people understand that there are gonna be repercussions on them and that they are not just sitting here messing around with stuff that's not gonna fight back. You know what I'm saying? And we are the people. We need to fight back. This is our country. I'm a king. You're a queen. You're a king. Okay? That's what it is. You got to start from the process that you are a king, and then you start asking people questions who say they have authority over you. Okay? So with that, love to everybody out there, man. Peace, love, and abundance. All right. Bye.